Hello, welcome to Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkle.
And I am your co-hostess with the mostest, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I am in a very interesting headspace today. For listeners that don't know, a lot has happened in the past week between the last time we recorded an episode. And I am overwhelmed with joy and love and appreciation and kindness and fear and anxiety and jubilation and a lot of emotions, and I'm processing a lot of emotions all at once. Long story short, I was approved for surgery.
Yay!
For facial feminization and breast augmentation up in San Francisco. But the surgery date that they gave me is incredibly soon. It is in less than a month. You will probably be listening to this episode while I'm under the knife. And it was a very tricky thing to make work in such a limited time frame. But through the love, support, and care of an insane amount of loved ones, family members, friends, distant friends, strangers, we've been able to make it work and make it happen, and I am like verklempt with joy.
Yeah.
Is a very odd way of putting it. I have never felt this level of love, support, and care in my entire life, and I've been processing it in the only way I know how, in that on Friday I spent all day crying, and then on Saturday I threw a party. So
Yeah.
I threw a Halloween party. Because I'm gonna, as I mentioned, I'm going to be having surgery in the middle of November. I will be then returning from San Francisco the day before Thanksgiving, and then I will be laid up through Thanksgiving, through my birthday, and then close to Christmas. So I won't be able to host and cook for Thanksgiving like I love to. I won't be able to have my birthday plans. Funny, was considering having my birthday this year either ice skating or go-karting. Neither of which I can do now.
You shan't be doing either.
Shan't be doing either.
Maybe you can read a good book in bed.
I will read a good book in bed. I've bought a lot of Anne Rice books lately. I will be doing a lot of that.
Okay, great. And is your mom coming to help you out?
My mom is coming. I don't have a super close connection to a lot of my family, especially my immediate family. But my mother is crazy close and crazy supportive, and is the reason I'm the person I am. And I love her so much. And she is flying out from Indiana. I have an incredible friend who is staying to watch her dogs. And she's going to spend 8 days in San Francisco watching over me, looking like the Invisible Woman. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to make her watch some weird fucking movies. Part of this, as I alluded to, getting this even able to happen, because I'm fortunate enough to have a job that gives me health insurance, which is, was able to approve and support the surgeries. But even outside of that, the medical needs are crazy expensive, and the travel expenses are just that as well. And so I put a GoFundMe up on Friday, 2 days after we found out, with a very kind of small ask in mind, based on our needs. And in a day, less than a day, it was met. As of this time of recording, the number that we had in mind as our initial goal has been doubled. I've stopped promoting it. I've stopped asking because I feel greedy. I don't like, but it's still up, and I don't know how to thank people enough. I do know how to thank people a little bit, because part of the GoFundMe was that I only know how to promote fundraisers through Kickstarter and things like that. So
Yeah.
even though that's not a thing on GoFundMe, I did set up a tier group based on donations and based on gifts.
Yeah.
So some people at high tier levels will be given vintage movie posters from my personal collection. And these are like actually good posters. This is not like the Avengers Endgame poster from the theater. This is like good 70s horror movies and 80s cult films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you want a Death Row Game Show poster, this is your place to get
that.
But part of that was, and private commissions were part of that as well. But part of that was also just a shout out here. And I cannot thank these people enough. But hopefully speaking their name into the world with kindness, love, thanks, and gratitude is a little bit to kind of put that back into their lives.
Yeah, let's hear them.
These are all people that I love so much as human beings, and then seeing their names on this list all together is moving as hell. Elizabeth Purcell, Sean McCabe, Jonathan Menold, Michael Moen, Brendan Schaefer, Eileen Steinbach, Isabel Costado, Zach Ogle, Jason Schick, Mark Levy, Adam Hendricks, Mark Weingast, Michael Kennedy, friend of the show, Brian Larson, Ashton Evans, Nick Vuchnik, who's a good friend, Brendan Haley, who's an incredibly great friend, Mark McGilvery, who's an incredible poster designer, Taylor Yamaz, Conrad Burrington, Jesse Gallagher's, William Coit, Alicia Tatone, F. Ron Miller, Sam Zimmerman, Scott Sosler, Ryan Frick, Chris Garofalo, Lauren Greenblatt, one of my best friends in the world, John Walters, Hilary Levitt, Rory Gorey, one of my best friends in the world, friend of the show, Christopher Norris, Stake Mountain, Daniel Del Plato, Mary Johnston, Stacey Hammond, Alex Steed of the You Are Good podcast, one of my favorite podcasts in the world. My producer, Tanya Everett, who's one of my favorite human beings in the world, and at least 4 or 5 anonymouses as well. So thank you so much, even though some people didn't want to express their names to the world. I love you all so very much, and I would not be the person I am, and I would not be doing what I'm doing and being able to achieve these things without you people every single step of the way. And I don't have the words to express how emotional I have been at this outpouring of love and care and support. And I I'm just falling off into gibberish because my body and my brain and my jaw don't know how to express all of this. Anyway, how have you been, Josh?
Yeah, I was very heartened to watch those funds come in for you so quickly. It made me feel like, oh, there are still good people in the world. This is so nice. I'm fine. Nothing exciting in my life is happening. Truly nothing at all. Yeah, I have nothing to report from my personal life, which people are probably thrilled by. Do you know, so I've been thinking not about our podcast, but about podcasts in general. I've heard so much recently people say like, oh, I don't want to hear people like shoot the shit for 20 minutes before they get to the movie. And I'm like, well, should we stop talking about ourselves and just get to the movie? It makes me feel like insecure about what we do now.
No, I like that stuff personally.
I like listen it too. If I like the hosts, then I feel like I like it.
I listen to podcasts for the people. I as I mentioned, I love You Are Good. I love Films to Be Buried with Brett Goldstein, and both of those are shows that open up with a good bit of time with the hosts talking to one another, or the host talking to their guest and talking about the lives of the guest, and like, you know, it all varies on the thing, but like, if you consistently listen to the podcast, you do it because you like the host. It's the same thing with like watching a TV show. my favorite episodes of most TV shows are not the plotty episodes. It's the ones where the characters are just hanging out doing what they do. The best Buffy episodes are season 3 because they just let the characters be the characters and just like do whatever.
Yeah. It's like how the best part of Halloween is like the girls just walking around Pasadena talking about school and boys and stuff.
I wish I could walk around Pasadena talking about boys. Wait a minute, I do.
Yeah, nothing's going on with me. I saw the most beautiful play called The Inheritance. Like, I keep getting it confused with the title of the movie that we watched for this week. So I've been using them interchangeably. But it's a 2-part. You see it over 2 nights. Each part is 3 acts long.
Really?
And it's like 100 years. It's based on Howard's End by E.M. Forster.
I love
E.M.
Howard's
Forster,
End so much.
So it's a modern interpretation of Howard's End, sort of. And E.M. Forster is one of the narrators in the play, but it's just about a group of gay men, and it takes place over 100 years. And it's like the responsibility that queer people have to the next generation.
Oh,
and to
I love that.
other queer people who aren't as fortunate as you. So, of course, it starts with E.M. Forster's time, moves through the AIDS epidemic into the present. And it's just so beautiful, just stunningly beautiful.
That's incredible. Is it still going?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
still
it
playing. It's at the Geffen.
I need to see this.
It's really beautiful.
I mean,
it's not perfect. I mean, people call it the new Angels in America, and I don't think it is quite that good. It has some flaws, like some moments where I felt like it veered towards melodrama a little bit, or things like that. But
I
really
like melodrama.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very moving.
I mean, my dumb cinephile brain is like, maybe they'll make a movie of it one day. But I'm also like I should be going
HBO
to the theater.
Miniseries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love the theater. Not everyone has to go.
I've
let go of the part of my self that's like, why doesn't everyone like theater? It's like I had to let that go years ago. But it is worth it, and I think it's a play that anybody would enjoy, not just like stuffy theater people. It's really lovely. It was on Broadway, and now it's in LA, and it's gorgeous.
Oh, dope. I should absolutely find the time to go. Hopefully soon. I have very little time left for fun activities.
Clocks are ticking, and I think you're running out of time to see part 1.
Okay.
They've kind of like moved more into part 2 now. So
okay, cool. Yeah. Have you had any opportunities to watch things without a proscenium arch between you and the story?
I did just go to the Los Feliz 3 to check out the new restoration that Severin did of the Changeling.
Oh, yeah.
1981, I think, with a group of friends, and it looks really beautiful. That's a movie that I've loved a long time. I do so my boyfriend pointed this out, and I've always felt like there was something that didn't quite work entirely about the Changeling, even though I love it. And I know what it is now, which is that it's a murder mystery, but the mystery gets solved in the middle of the movie, and then there's 40 minutes left where you just know what happened, and you're waiting for one character to tell another character what happened.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like ahead of the movie, and you keep waiting for there to be like a reveal or a surprise that just never comes.
Yeah. I mean, I love it so
good.
much. George C. Scott's performance is great. Peter Medak is an incredible director who does not get enough credit. I'm a huge fan of his film, The Ruling Class. I think it's great. It has one of the best opening scenes.
Really
in
good.
horror. I feel like a lot of modern horror movies, especially like the A24 model, have really ripped that off.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of The Descent also feels like it's taken from the beginning of The Changeling.
Totally.
It's incredible. Yeah, I think it does drag in the middle in a very specific way that possibly could have been corrected. I don't know. But it is a ghost movie in a way that scares me more than most ghost movies.
It feels like a book, doesn't it?
It does
feels
feel like a book.
Like an old novel in a good way. It's very old-fashioned and very gothic. And
if you have one character walking around a creaky mansion, you better make that character George C. fucking Scott.
And of course, there's a great seance scene because there has to be in a haunted house movie. And you get in the restoration, you get a very clear look at George C. Scott's alcoholic nose. And one wonders how much he was drinking during this movie, because he was a terrible alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he does have like a classic red broken capillaries alcoholic's
Oof.
nose. But great movie, great restoration. Love Severin. And yeah, The Changeling.
It's a great
the
flick.
Blu-ray. It's coming out.
Yeah.
How about you?
I've been watching a new television series. And if you pay attention to what I've mentioned earlier in this episode, you might be able to guess what it would be. I have fallen head over heels in love with Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire on AMC Plus.
I hear it's really good. I haven't watched it yet.
It's freaking phenomenal. So, I didn't have AMC Plus, and so I saw that there was one episode up on Shudder, and was like, you get this one for free, then you got to go sign up for AMC Plus. And I was like, oh, they're doing that tactic. I'm not gonna fall for that. I'll wait until one day it's all on Shudder. And I just was waiting and waiting and waiting. And I was like, fine, I'll watch the first episode. I just need to know how it is. And I loved it so much, I immediately got AMC Plus. Well, I asked a friend.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
We got AMC Plus together.
I've been thinking about doing that too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It changes things from the book to update them, and to also take new looks at the established characters of Louis and Lestat and stuff like that. And it is so rich and so delightful and so unabashedly queer. And it's not over yet. There's still, I think, 2 more episodes before the first season wraps. And the first season is going to be the first half of the book. And the second season is intended to be the second half of the book. And it's which has already been greenlit, and they're already making it. And then additional seasons will continue through the Anne Rice Vampire Chronicles. So then it would be the Vampire Lestat, and then it would be Queen of the Damned. And please, God, please give us those. But this whole series, to me, feels very much using vampires as a metaphor for queer life and for queer assimilation specifically. And it's really epitomized through Louis' character in the show, who's been changed from the original book to be an African-American man of Creole descent in New Orleans around 1910, who is a closeted gay man, and who is not only who is code switching constantly based on the scenarios that he's in, both based on his race, his ethnicity, and his sexuality, until Lestat shows up and kind of posits this idea of what if you didn't have to assimilate? What if you just were yourself? And so what if people died? It's so good. It is. I have no notes. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's occasionally very funny. It is super romantic. It is super sexy. It is incredible. I love it so much. I was worried, and I am no longer. I have full faith. And Anne Rice served as a supervising producer as it was being developed. Unfortunately, she has since passed away. But her son, Christopher Rice, who is himself a gay novelist in his own right and who is incredible, is continuing on and making sure that it stays true to her vision and her legacy. It's so fucking great. I can't say enough about my love for that show. I love it so much.
I have to get to watch that. I have to watch that. It's so funny. AMC owns Shudder, of course, and I've heard through the grapevine that they're going to be funding more stuff for Shudder in the future, starting next year. But I know that they're trying to make AMC Plus happen, and so I'm wondering if at any point they'll absorb Shudder and have it be a hub within AMC Plus or something.
I think AMC Plus already has most of Shudder on AMC Plus
Yes.
as like a hub, but Shudder still exists separately, and I don't think they're going to separate them.
Okay, good.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like Shudder is now so well identified as a horror brand.
Yeah.
And they have very
Shudder,
different audiences, so...
Yeah, Shudder is so special. Like, I'm so thankful for Shudder, and yeah, I just would hate to lose it. That's all.
Speaking of streaming and technically television, I have one more thing.
Yeah.
I literally just watched it this morning, and I loved it so much, I need to talk about it.
Okay.
On Netflix, really fast, there is a series being put out this Halloween season presented by Guillermo del Toro, and it is called Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Great.
It is a series of short films in the style of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Guillermo del Toro walks out at the beginning of every episode, gives you a little Rod Serling gist, and then we get into the film. They're all directed by major genre directors that are, for one reason or not really doing that much work right now. So Catherine Hardwicke, the director of Twilight, has done one. The Jennifer Kent, the director of The Babadook, has done one. But I just watched The Viewing, directed by Panos Cosmatos of Beyond the Black Rainbow and Mandy fame.
Yeah.
And it stars Peter Weller of RoboCop and Naked Lunch, and Sophia Boutella and Eric Andre.
Oh my god.
And Charlene Yee. And it is, holy god, incredible. It is truly Guillermo del Toro got Netflix to just greenlight a Panos Cosmatos movie with whatever he wanted to do. It is Panos doing Panos Lovecraft to the furthest degree.
Yeah.
It is so gorgeous. It is so sumptuous. The soundtrack is incredible. Seeing Peter Weller, hearing Peter Weller's velvety voice. It's set in 1979, and it is so sci-fi, like cosmic horror tinged in such a fun way, and it gets fucking gross at the end. It is everything that I could have wanted it to be and more. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's going to be one of my favorite films of the year. It is so good. And it's like an hour long.
Wow. That sounds great.
I loved it so much. I cannot wait to delve into the rest of the Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Today, we are discussing from 2015 by Miss Karen Kusama, The Invitation.
This thing is so official.
Maybe they're overcompensating. It's kind of hard to call everybody up out of the blue after 2 years.
I'm so glad you're here. We've got a lot to talk about. So much to celebrate tonight. Each and every one of us is on a journey, and we feel that it's important to be on that journey with the people you love. Everybody, this is my friend Pruitt.
So, this is a pretty recent movie. My backstory with this is not very interesting. I rented it on VOD when it came out in 2015 or maybe 2016, and I really liked it, and I haven't watched it since until you wanted to do it for the show. Is your story more interesting than that?
Maybe, I don't know. So I had never seen The Invitation before. I knew nothing about it, and I had only occasionally heard of it. Very, very little, and I was like, man, whatever. And I then found out that it was directed by Karen Kusama, kind of as like her comeback film after Jennifer's Body. Not that Jennifer's Body needs a comeback film. Jennifer's Body is fucking incredible.
We'll talk about movie jail and what that means.
It's the worst. And I love her. She's incredible.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through Peacock, of all places, looking for Halloween content. Because I was like, I want something that's like, a little, like, nice and low-key and spooky, but not, like, that scary.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've been meaning to watch The Invitation. It's here in Peacock, which Peacock weirdly has incredible horror offerings right now. I mean, they have all the Universal Monster movies and Chucky movies and all that stuff. But they also have, like, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde and, like, Fulci's The Beyond and really, really dope, deep-cut, awesome offerings. Anyway, I saw The Invitation on there, And I was like, yeah, I need to see that. I'll check that one off the list. And I got so engrossed so fast, so stressed out, so disturbed. And I watched this in between our last episode, and I texted you about it, being like, have you seen The Invitation? Oh my god, I need to talk to someone about this. And then very quickly we're like, what if we just did that as an episode?
Yeah.
It's
It's a great movie. It's really good.
Yeah.
So Karen Kusama made a big splash in the 90s for, I don't know, it was like a Sundance movie or something that she did. What was it called? Dogfight? Was that her first movie?
Isn't
Girl
Girl
Fight?
Fight?
Somebody else. Girl Fight.
Yes.
So Girl Fight, she made this movie. Girl Fight was a big splash. She became this indie darling. Flash forward a few years to the 2000s, she makes the movie Jennifer's Body with then hot shit writer Diablo Cody, but it is unfortunately panned by critics and sort of brushed away. So Karen Kusama went to what they call movie jail. This is a term that I first heard from Barry Sonnenfeld, who directed the Addams Family movies, and also worked on a series of Unfortunate Events, which I worked on. In between those two projects, he made Wild Wild West, which was like a huge, huge, colossal flop. And that's when he went to movie jail. And movie jail is a term that directors use when they make a flop and then are not allowed to make another movie. They call it movie jail. I also heard of this from Rachel Talalay, who directed Tank Girl and went to movie jail. And then I worked with her on Sabrina. So it is a thing that happens to people a lot. And particularly it happens to women and people of color and other directors who have some sort of disenfranchised, minority status, because of course it's harder for them to get jobs. So Karen Kusama was in movie jail until two things happened: the kind of reappraisal of Jennifer's Body, which was long overdue and was sort of seeded by longtime fans of the movie, and making this movie, which was like a very small, like $1.5 million movie. And it was sort of her comeback, those two things. So she's out of movie jail now. I sort of lost my train of thought.
I mean, we have The Invitation in large part to thank for the return of one of the best female directors and directors, period, working in the game. It is wholly unfair that her career was kneecapped in that way. If you look at contemporary male directors of similar ilks, like let's take a look at a big flop stinker movie that everyone loathed, like, I don't know, The Book of Henry. That movie was hated and trashed, even worse than Jennifer's Body was. And you know what that guy did? He turned around and he wrote the next Star Wars movie and directed Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Jennifer's Body is that it was not bad. Most people, when they go to movie jail, they make a bad movie. Karen Kusama was never wrong. The world was wrong. Mm-hmm. Critics, marketers, all of these people really fucked up. Karen Kusama never fucked up.
No. And she didn't fuck up.
The world treated her movie badly.
One step in The Invitation, but the treatment of Jennifer's Body and her film before that, Iron Flux, which were both very stylized films. When you get to The Invitation, her filmmaking style has changed entirely.
Yeah.
And it feels like a direct response to that. It's a different style, but it's the same cinematic language, and she's doing a lot of similar things.
And this movie is stylish in its own way.
Oh, it's gorgeous, and it uses the methods of both its screenplay and of cinematic language to do so much.
Yeah, I mean, her previous movies are very, like, kind of poppy and young and all that sort of stuff. This is a very sophisticated movie for grown-ups.
I would call this movie sober.
Yes. This movie, I guess I'll just give a quick synopsis of this. So this couple, Will and Kira, we meet them driving up the Hollywood Hills to a dinner party where they hit a coyote, and Will has to put it out of its misery in a way that shocks his girlfriend Kira. They are on their way to a dinner party thrown by Eden, who is Will's ex-wife and her new partner, in the house where Will used to live. We quickly understand that there was some sort of tragedy in Will and Eden's backstory. Their child died somehow, and this is the first time they're seeing each other in 2 years. And in fact, this is the first time this whole group of old friends is coming together for 2 years. And when Will gets to the dinner party, of course, something is not as it seems. And the tension just gets ratcheted up and ratcheted up and ratcheted up until it gets to such a cool ending. And that's kind of it. It's just like a dinner party gone wrong.
Mm-hmm. There is a major question throughout the whole movie, because we are very much seated with Will and his perspective the entire time, who is, suffering from PTSD and anxiety and not at all very comfortable to be returning to this home and to be seeing some of these people again. And so there is a foreboding sense of dread and anxiety that is there, absolutely tied into his character from the jump. Mm-hmm. So we have a question the entire film as to whether that is the case, or if there is truly something else going on that is concerning and worrisome. And this movie spends so much time on that razor's edge and pushes and pulls you in each direction masterfully. Yeah.
It's almost like a House of Psychotic Women movie, but it's about a man. I mean, It's that same, like, is he crazy or is something happening here?
Mm-hmm. And it takes almost until the very last moment for you to get a definitive answer one way or another. And you are constantly given clues and breadcrumbs in either direction at all times. And it is fucking stressful. As someone who deals with PTSD and anxiety, I was just like, having a very hard time.
Me, and he's like, this makes me so uncomfortable. Like, please leave this party. Just get your jacket and go. You quickly learn when he gets there that his ex-wife Eden and her new partner are part of a new spiritual movement called The Invitation, which the other characters perhaps correctly call a cult. And it's so good, especially if you live in California where this kind of thing is ever present, this sort of like new age spiritualism and the wellness industry and all of that stuff. It really set my hair going. You know what I mean? Like, my hair is rooting.
While watching this movie, I could absolutely like view in my mind the Goop post about The Invitation. And I was like, yes. I'm sure Gwyneth loves The Invitation.
That was going to be my have they seen it was Gwyneth Paltrow. This movie is absolutely taking to task that kind of Goop wellness spirituality kind of shit. I have a funny relationship. I used to have a podcast about this. My other podcast was called Hollywoo, and it was specifically about like spirituality in Los Angeles and how woo-woo it is and how much of it is like cringe or how much of it is interesting and just like exploring those intersections. So this movie makes me really uncomfortable, as I feel uncomfortable about all of these things. I don't know. I'll ask the question that I used to ask on my old podcast, Drusilla. What is your like woo-woo level on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you astral project and you are from another dimension and you're a white witch. 1 being like, I don't believe in anything that I can't see, hear, taste, or smell.
It's very, very interesting because I think of myself as being very pragmatic and very like sight, sound, touch, feel. Like, this is the world that I live in. I'm an atheist. I don't have any kind of like internal spirituality connection. However, I also am subjected to and experience a lot of weird shit in my life. I have dealt with hauntings, which it took a very long time to call as such. I also have omnipresent deja vu in my life since I was a child. I have experienced this, and it is always super mundane, but it has never relented and has only gotten more pronounced the more I age and the more I experience the world. It's very bizarre. My dreams are very, I guess, prophetic? I don't know. So I don't really know. I have a lot of friends that are very astrologically minded.
Me included.
And are very I don't know, very tied in with astrology and tarot and things like that. And I have a strong fascination and interest in those things, as much as I can be, without owning a tarot deck or anything like that. But I don't know. I find myself, I put myself in the camp of curious more than anything. However, things like what's presented in this movie as like, oh, an expensive wellness retreat down in Mexico where you join a community and we all call each other brother and we do what we can to like get back to nature and like excessive healing and sharing of our traumas violently at one another. I'm like, no. Fuck that bullshit. No, fuck that. Get me out of here.
I went through a big phase of all of that when I got a divorce and moved to California, as people do, like Don Draper did at the end of Mad Men. And I think what this movie hits on really well is how people can take these sort of spiritual movements, wellness, anything kind of in that space. It can kind of serve people's narcissism in a weird way. Like when Bell Hooks died, I read this quote by her that I'm going to paraphrase badly, but it sort of changed the way I view all of this stuff. And it was basically that you should be wary of any spiritual path that focuses on the individual over the collective. So when you think of any kind of self-help or anything like that, if it can't just be about you. Like that's a spiritual dead end. Like that's one thing that Christianity has on all of these sort of self-help things is it's always about the collective. What serves the collective? What serves the common good? And so this movie really scratches at that really well. These people appear to be really evolved and self-assured and kind, but underneath it all, there's something really menacing going on. It's really creepy.
The thing that's the most upsetting for me and happens so quickly into the movie that it kind of flags things down as potentially being worrisome and upsetting is that Will's ex-wife Eden is very calm and casual and nonchalant, and she's having a good time. Well, he is very visibly struggling with still working through the trauma and the grief and that they both experienced at the same time, and him still being in that while she is so like effervescent and past it. It's whatever. We're just here together, colliding in this moment.
She immediately starts spewing stuff like emotions are optional, or like feelings are optional. All of that bad stuff, those bad memories, you can just expel those from your body if you want.
That stuff like that is horrifying to me. Especially not only the idea of like expelling those bad memories from you in that kind of like Eternal Sunshine way, but about that level of grief is repugnant to me, but also flaunting that ideology and that presentation of yourself to the only other person in the world who is right there in the room, who went through the exact same grief and trauma. That is like violently repugnant and makes me ill to watch.
And meanwhile, she's put bars on all the windows in the 2 years since they last been there. And by the way, this is his first time in this house where he used to live for 2 years, and he's seeing visions of his dead son everywhere. So he's having a rough go of it, and she's not helping because she's awful.
No, and all of this is additionally not helped by the presence of two things. The first one is John Carroll Lynch, who I'm sure is a sweet man, but if I saw him show up uninvited to a party that I was already stressed out at, I would leave fucking immediately. That is the Zodiac Killer.
Yes. He's so good and creepy in this. His character is named Pruitt. and he's the first guest that shows up that's not a part of this old friend group, and he's like 20 years older than everybody, so they're like, who is this guy? And also there's a young sort of Manson girl coded woman named Sadie who no one knows either, and
it's kind of implied that she's kind of in a throuple with Will's ex-wife, with Eden and her new partner, and she's very sexually flippant and expressive, and it's putting these like working class 30-somethings off so hard because she's maybe 20 at most.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how, like, me and Eden had so much fun together back down in Mexico, and we're continuing our fun here. Ha 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 ha. And they're all like, whoa, what the shit?
Yeah, and right away, these four strange people tell the rest of the group that they've been doing the invitation, which everyone in the room seems to know about. Like, someone will be like, my boss is doing the invitation. My sister has been doing the invitation. And they seem correctly suspicious of it, but it's kind of coded as like Est or the Forum or any number of these kinds of
Landmark Forum. Oh my fucking God.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I had to complain about a coworker who used to send things about the Forum to the entire ad agency where we worked, like whole company wide, about like, hey, I'm doing this great thing called the Forum. You should come on Thursday. It's really helped me, blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of like that.
I worked at a company in Los Angeles that I will not name that the founder and executive went to the Landmark Forum and came back and was like, all of the executive staff needs to go now. It has changed my life. And then they all came back and they're like, we're going to find it and we're going to get the money so that everyone in the staff can go. And we were all like, nope.
Absolutely.
No.
That is a cult.
I also had a friend in Los Angeles recently who was dating a girl, and they were going on. It was like they were together for a few weeks into a few months, and were like having a very good time. It was very casual, and they're getting to know each other very well. And then like 2 months in, she just casually mentions like, have you heard of the Forum? And he was like, oh, you like the place where they play basketball at? She's like, no, silly. The Landmark Forum. It's so important to me. And like started like leading him in with this stuff. And he was like, no, that's just a cult. And she was like, oh, it really hurts me to hear you say that. And like kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And like very slowly would just drop things here and there. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
They broke up. But like she'd been in the Landmark Forum for like 10 years and like waited 2 months to mention it to like indoctrinate. It is I don't fucking like it.
I don't like it either. Although I'm in a couple of things that people call cults, right? Like I go to AA and I just blocked someone on Twitter this week who wouldn't stop talking about AA being a cult. And I do CrossFit, and some people have said that's a cult. So I don't know. God. Maybe I'm in cults. I mean, I don't think that those are cults, but people do.
Those are not cults.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of thing is rampant in Los Angeles. The house. We should talk about the house.
The house is gorgeous.
It's in the Hollywood Hills somewhere. It is very 70s coded in a chic way. It has like the tasteful kind of wood paneling, lots of mid-century furniture, lots of deep browns and beiges. And then, of course, everyone at the party is like in their 30s and really chic. And also a 70s kind of coded way for the most part. So It's a very sophisticated palette for a movie, for a horror film especially. I feel like this is one of those movies that in 30 years when you watch it, like all of this stuff is going to go out of style. And it's going to look ugly for a long time. But in 30 years, when you watch this, you're going to be like, God, that is like such a chic movie.
I mean, I'm kind of almost already there. Like
I am too, but I can predict that it will look ugly in 10 years.
Yes, this is
another
true.
20. Another 20, it'll be like, holy shit, that looks great.
The one of the most upsetting points in this that it gets flagged up by all of the cast members as being very upsetting thing to do at a little like dinner party like this is that when they discuss the invitation as this thing that we're doing, they're like, you know what? You guys should be a bit more open-minded. Let's take a look at what the invitation's all about. And so they pop in a little video off their laptop of like, here's what it all is. Introduced by the founder of the invitation, played by Toby Huss, whom I love.
I love him.
I love him so much. As a big fan of *Halt and Catch Fire*, I was like,
Yeah.
Toby, who is like such an out there but also incredible choice for a charismatic leader of such a group of people. Because he's kind of got that like southern drawl that's very like, yes, I would like to hear Toby Huss
trustworthy
talk about this stuff. And then the video proceeds to show a woman die. Like in her like late 20s, early 30s, laying in a bed, and she just softly goes to sleep and is dead, surrounded by a group of people from the invitation. And they're talking about how beautiful of a moment this is. And afterwards, on John Carroll Lynch's face and on the ex-wife, Eden, and her new partner, they're all very like, blissfully, like they just watched Paddington 2 and they had a nice little warm smiley cry at this. And everyone else is just jaws on the floor, horrified.
Why did you show us someone dying?
Why did you show us someone dying? Why did you show us a snuff film? What the fuck is wrong with you?
And then, of course, they're like, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. What's wrong with you? It's great.
It's at this point that one of the women is like, I'm going to go. I feel very uncomfortable. And they're like, don't go, please, please, please. And then Will is like, let her go. What's wrong with you? So they do. But then the big guy, Pruitt, is like, oh, I parked behind you. Let me pull out. So they go out together and you never see her again. And it's so creepy.
It upsets me so much because the entire time that he's doing that, Will, again, we're in his perspective the whole film, is like, I don't trust this fucking dude. I'm gonna go to the window and make sure that everything is okay. So we get through his perspective of like peeking out the blind to look out into the driveway to see her pull out, and you see John Carroll Lynch like guiding her car out, and you see her finally get onto the street, and she starts to drive, and John Carroll Lynch waves goodbye, and then you're like, whew. And then John Carroll Lynch yells, "Hey, wait!" and walks up to her car, and her car like just past the like the wall, so you can't see. And then Eden's new partner grabs Will and is like, "Hey, man, why are you just standing over by the window at the party? People think that's off-putting."
Meanwhile, this same man has like locked all the doors, and so all this sort of really off-putting stuff.
Just talking really about creepy. This movie already has like my skin crawling again in a way that I just.
Yeah. Also, Will, the movie really makes your skin crawl. Also, Will has like kind of gone off into the other rooms by himself, and in a drawer in the couple's bedroom, he finds a bottle of pills. He takes one pill, shows it to another guest who happens to be a doctor, and he's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's phenobarbital, which is like an incredibly strong barbiturate."
It's like what 50s housewives would gulp and swallow. That's like Valley of the Dolls. Yeah. That's what they're taking.
Yeah. So that's happening. There's also somebody who is supposed to be there that hasn't shown up. And so they don't know where he is. And then eventually, and also there's no phone reception on their cell phones, which is sus. And so Will is actually at the property line at some point when he gets a voicemail because he gets a little bit of Wi-Fi or data or whatever. And it's from the person who never showed up. And he's saying, "Hey, I'm here," and blah, blah, blah. You know, like he was there earlier.
Hey, I got here early for once. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to go inside, but, you know, give my girlfriend a ring and let her know that I'm here. I forgot ice or whatever. He's like, I forgot to go to the drugstore and I don't want to drive up the hill again. So, like, can you pick it up for me? Meanwhile, everyone's like, yeah, he's not here. And they're like, he never showed up. He's late. He's always late. No.
Yeah. Finally, we get to sit down at dinner, and that's where shit really hits the fan. And you can't really say much more than that without... I think we should try to not spoil this ending because it's really special.
It is. And I've been trying to get... So after I watched this movie, I had a very visceral reaction to it. It shook me in a way that I haven't been by a movie in a long time. And I was it kind of like wrecked my day. That is a personal thing. Most people don't have that kind of reaction to it.
Yeah.
It kind of triggered some things for me that I did not know I would have triggers to going in. So that's fun. It gets to a place eventually in its ending that it's something I don't like seeing in things, and so I was like, oh, this was already stressful, and then we get to this. Okay, all right, lovely. Yeah. So I have been talking to friends about it because I think the only person that I've spoken to recently that have seen it is you. Hence why we're doing this episode at all. And I was talking to friends about it, and they're like, God, that doesn't sound good if you had that reaction. I was like, no, it's great. You should see it.
Yeah.
I
do feel like
people would love it. It's a super satisfying ending, and the ending itself, the final wrap up denouement, final shot of it is so... It's weird because you go through so much anxiety and grief and stress throughout this movie, right? And then the final image of it is something that is a mix of pure horror and grief on a wider scale, but also the way that it's done and the setting and the location of all of it and the context behind that from a socioeconomic level kind of had me going good.
Yeah. Weirdly,
which is fucked up and mean to say. However, the whole movie is so insulated and about these characters that you get to know over the course of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then the final thing is such a macro view of things, and it's based on such socioeconomic things the entire film, and then especially in that final shot, that I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
A happy ending, I'm sure.
It weirdly reminds me of the end of The Beyond.
Yes.
And I guess some of that is just the composition of the shots on a technical level.
No, it really does.
It has that vibe, which I've always been haunted by the ending of that movie.
The Beyond
it's so beautiful but scary, and
is one of my favorite films ever made. It is potentially my favorite horror film. I love it so much.
Yeah. This movie feels like Los Angeles slander a little bit to me, I will say. But it's also not unearned. This is a city where you can buy a $100 water bottle from Gwyneth Paltrow that has an amethyst at its center because that's good for you somehow.
Sure, man.
And that's another thing that this movie gets really right, too, is the way that a lot of these spiritual self-improvement things are really rich coded in a way that we don't really talk about. And I think that's an interesting part of this movie is the class aspect.
Yeah.
Because this really is a, petite charm of the bourgeoisie kind of movie. I mean, it's rich people at a dinner party.
No, I kind of appreciated that when I started watching it. It's a very Buñuel kind of honestly, the movie that it reminded me of the most, and the movie that if I had to program this on a double feature with, I would program it with Buñuel's The Exterminating Angel.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
Which is about a fancy, wealthy dinner party by a bunch of rich elites, and where something ominously foreboding is happening when it kicks off, and all of the servants are all very unnerved for some reason they can't place, and they all frantically are like, we need to leave, we're going, and they're like, if you leave you'll be fired. They're like, whatever, fuck it, we can't stay, we need to leave. And they all leave, and all the rich people are like, whatever, fuck it, we're gonna keep going. And then very quickly they realize that they're incapable of leaving the room that they're in.
Ooh,
and it's never explained. They can't leave. They'll be like, wow, I can't believe we're going till 1 a.m. We've got work in the morning. Might as well keep going. And then he gets to 4 p.m. the next day, and they're like, we should leave. Why aren't we leaving? And they degrade and degrade and degrade and degrade as they're stuck there. It's incredible. And it's kind of the flip side of this movie in some ways, because it has this very vicious, dark humor to it that that The Invitation doesn't have.
Yeah, this movie is kind of humorless.
It is kind of humorless, but that's part of the reason why I think the final shot kind of put a smile on my face in a really disturbing way, because I kind of you really need a release after the amount of tension built up in this movie, and the final 10 minutes, I feel like do that in a really satisfying way. But the final...
see, I have a very different reaction to that final. I think that's actually terrifying. That doesn't release me at all. I found it really scary.
I mean, it is, I don't know. I solely took it from, I don't know, the composition of the shot and the way that it focuses on the landscape. It's so hard to discuss this without getting into spoilers, but we're doing our best, I swear to God. It is so focused on, that final shot is so focused on class, whether it's intended or not. And you know what? Perfect. If that same shot was everything that was going on about it, but was instead like Koreatown or like something like that,
Watts
then
or something.
Yeah, I'd be like, holy shit. But it's not. It's something else. And so I was like, okay, if that, because it's something that like throughout the movie is like kind of hinted towards, but you're so wrapped up in the drama within everything going on and everything happening in the room that by the time you get to that, you're like, oh yeah, shit. Good God. It honestly reminds me of the ending of Possession.
Yeah. Totally.
Because they both do a very, very, very good job of introducing you to a world and to characters. And at the top of it, kind of like introducing you to this world in a broad sense. And then getting you so into the nitty-gritty, meaty, like person-on-person drama and relationships of all of these main characters, that by the time that narrative reaches its conclusion, it's kind of like, and oh yeah, here's that narrative in the context of the rest of that world. Bye now.
Yeah, you could make like a $50 million sequel to this. That would be more like, I don't want to spoil it, but it rhymes with Bliscape from Blele or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just them trying to get home or whatever. Anyway.
I mean, honestly, I would not want to see that.
Me neither, but
I can't imagine a sequel to The Invitation being good. I think anything that is going to be in the audience's mind following the end of that movie is going to be more satisfying than anything put to paper.
Totally agree.
I love it.
Shall we?
Invitation so much. Go watch it on Peacock and tweet at us. Let us know what you think of the ending. Was it darkly humorous and enjoying for some of you as fucked up as I am, or were you as horrified as Josh was and people in certain tax brackets?
I could see where you're coming from with that. Anyway, shall we shift to Have They Seen It? Have They Seen It? Where I can't talk today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Shall we shift to Have They Seen It? The game where we speculate wildly about whether notable figures have seen the movie.
Yes, please, let's.
I have like a grand tableau of names for you.
Hit me.
In May, this is from the wiki. In May 2012, it was announced that Luke Wilson, Zachary Quinto, Topher Grace, and Johnny Galecki had initially been scheduled to star in the film. So, do you think Luke Wilson, Zachary Quinto, Topher Grace, or Johnny Galecki have seen this movie?
I think Zachary Quinto has.
Mm-hmm. I could buy that.
Maybe Luke Wilson. If it was Owen, I'd be like, Owen Wilson's definitely seen it, but maybe Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
Luke Wilson's like genre and horror career is underrated. He's very good. It is. He is. I would have loved to see Luke Wilson. I assume he would have been the lead. I assume he would have been Will.
I think so too.
With his like Richie Tenenbaum beard.
And I'm thinking Zach Quinto would have been the new partner, I guess.
Yeah, because he has that kind of like off-center, kind of like too handsome. He's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who Johnny Galecki
Topher-
would have been. Or Topher Grace.
Yeah, I don't either. Topher Grace, I don't know.
Maybe they would have been the gay
Um,
couple.
Maybe,
two of them
or maybe
together?
Topher Grace was like the cult leader Toby Huss played. Or
Oh, I could see that.
I don't know. I don't think Topher Grace has seen this or Johnny Galecki.
Yeah, I feel like Topher Grace likes horror films, so I feel like this is a little bit too indie and art house for him. And I feel like Johnny Galecki can't be fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I feel like Johnny
Johnny Galecki
Galecki
seems-
only watches The Big Bang Theory on reruns to make sure that he's getting his residual checks.
I don't know why, because I once liked Johnny Galecki a lot. I really loved Darlene and David on Roseanne when I was a young person. But I have a feeling that he's mean. I don't know why.
I have the same impression, and it's because I've heard stories of him being mean.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hey,
That
Johnny
sounds-
Galecki, if you're not mean, let us know. Come on the podcast.
Let us know.
We would love to talk
Get a
about.
cease
I
and
know what you did
desist
last
letter.
summer. I mean, cease and desist proves that you're mean. Come on the podcast, talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I
who
think
do you
Zachary Quinto has definitely seen this movie, and I think Zachary Quinto loves this movie. I feel like he watched it and was kind of like, damn it. Oh, well. But
Yeah.
I also feel like part of the joy of this movie is that the cast isn't as star-studded as that would have been.
Yeah, I like that about it a lot.
Because you bring a lot of baggage to actors of that caliber. And not to downgrade the talent in this movie, everyone is incredible and brings their own.
Yeah, totally.
Outside of John Carroll Lynch and Toby Huss, two character actors, the only
Right.
well-known face is Eden's new partner, who is recognizable as being one of the siblings from Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Hill House.
He's also the dead guy in The Flight Attendant.
Yes, he is! He's
Mhm.
the guy she bones in The Flight Attendant who is dead and
And
haunted.
is he a Game of Thrones person too?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I've
Anyway,
never seen an episode.
So he's done some television. He's done some TV.
He's done some TV. We've already mentioned Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. I don't know if, I can't imagine this being a film she would watch.
She would hate watch it maybe if someone told her like this is dangerous for our brand. But
Oh my god. I could see
But not,
something
like,
like
pleasure
that
watch.
happening. Oh my god. Let me think. Well, okay. If this movie is skewering Goop, I don't think it's directly skewering Goop. I think it's inadvertently
No.
skewering Goop. But something that has directly skewered Goop, which, wow, that's a sentence to fucking say, is a show that I love called Dollface, which is created and stars Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. And Kat Dennings is a horror aficionado and is married, or at least engaged to, Andrew W.K.
Is she really? I had
She
no idea.
is. It made me so
for
happy.
them.
Because I was like,
Love Andrew WK.
I love them both, and I was always like, I can't believe they're single. He deserves someone great. She deserves someone great. And then they like randomly announced that they were engaged, and I was like, oh, that's so perfect.
Blessed.
So do you think that Kat Dennings, or Andrew WK, but specifically Kat Dennings, has seen The Invitation?
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. Him I don't know about, but her for sure has seen this. She
He's
could have been in this, really.
She would have been very good in this. He could have been in this. He could have been the John Carroll Lynch character.
Yeah, he totally could have been. I
He's
love him
large
so
and
much.
imposing enough.
Yeah.
I could honestly, I would love to see Andrew WK give a very impassioned monologue about how he regrets murdering his wife.
Yeah, that monologue is so creepy.
That is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life, and only John Carroll Lynch could have done it, or maybe Andrew WK.
Yeah, he's so good.
Andrew WK is not like a wellness brand guy, but he is a like mental wellness brand guy, kind of. Like he does like TED Talks nowadays, and he does like lectures on raising awareness for mental health and positivity and things like that. And it's been a part of the Andrew WK persona and his songwriting stuff since the 90s. Like, Party Hard is about that. Party Hard is like, it became like a frat boy anthem, but it was written from the perspective of like, frat boys suck. Everyone deserves the right to feel this level of joy and emotion and safety and comfort. And you take a look back at his career and you're like, oh, it's jock rock for everyone.
Yeah,
okay.
One gets the idea that he's worked really hard for it. And for the record, I enjoy the wisdom of people who have had to overcome something. I enjoy it less when it's like wealthy blonde women in Lululemon, which is what this movie is doing. You know what I mean? And what Goop is doing.
Yes.
So people who've like had to battle with mental health or had to battle addiction or things like that, they have a lot of wisdom that you should listen to. But Gwyneth Paltrow perhaps does not.
Do you have anything else in mind?
Let me think. I did 4. But fuck, let me think of somebody. What's that terrible Instagram poet's name? Ruby
Ruby Kaur, Kaur.
Yeah, I want to know if
Canadian
terrible
poet.
I want to know if terrible Instagram poet Ruby Kaur has seen The Invitation, because it feels like this movie is slandering her too.
I agree. I feel like she has seen it, and I feel like she had one of two responses. Either that aspect of it entirely went over her head, and she was like, this is great and lovely, and wow, what a film. I had such a roller coaster ride. And people were like, but wait, Ruby, wait. I feel like either that, or she watched it and she was like settled in for a good movie, and then like 40 minutes in, she was like, hey, wait a minute, no, and was very offended very fast. Either like it went completely by her, or she got super mad super fast.
I think it could be the first thing. I believe a version of this where she would enjoy the movie, but
not see herself in it.
Not see herself in it at all.
I agree. I don't think that's like a lack of character or anything like that. The Martin Short famously tells the story of when he was on SNL and did the character that was like, you don't think I know that? I know that. Come on. What? Like, that was super defensive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was based on a hairdresser at 30 Rock at SNL. And he did it for like 2 years and she never commented on it. God. And then at a rap party, he like went up to her very like hat in hand and was like, hey, I just want to say that like that character was based on you and I didn't want to like cause offense. And she's like, oh, you don't think I knew that? I knew that. Come on, I knew that.
That's so funny.
Anyway, speaking of rich, wealthy people who are a little unhinged and troublesome and untrustworthy, and
you're gonna say Josh Conkle?
No, not in the least.
Okay.
But also people who are very anxious and who are very paranoid and more and more and more out of step with the parts of rich Hollywood stuff. This is going to be a very interesting one. Do you think Kanye West has seen The Invitation?
I knew it. I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think this is the bad time. This is the wrong time for him to see The Invitation. Kanye, if you're listening, please stop listening to our podcast. A. B. I hate you. And C. Don't watch The Invitation for your own mental illness. And also, maybe talk to a doctor or a counselor. That would be, if I had one thing to tell you, it'd be to do that and, take your meds. I kind of worked with him a little bit because I worked in New York for a post-production house who did the video for Stronger back in the day. So he was in our office all the time. It was also around the time that his mother died.
Oh, God.
And I have to say, back then, he was really lovely and seemed kind of normal, if not sad. I feel like he's taken a turn of some kind because he was nice. He was nice and normal then. Does not seem nice and normal now, obviously.
No, again, he did an interview recently, I think a day or so ago, in which he was trying to backpedal a little bit from his recent horrifying comments. And in doing so, he was talking about how he believes that God is sending him messages and codes
like
through his own
one.
missteps and through his own mistakes, and that it's his job to go back through all of his mistakes and missteps to learn the message from God. And I was like, this sounds like clips of Toby Huss in The Invitation. This sounds like the cult leader schizophrenic shit from the... What the fuck?
I was going to say, like, hearing the voice of God is, like, one of the number one schizophrenic things.
Yeah.
You know, like, it seems like he has undiagnosed schizophrenia or bipolar or something. I mean, something's going on there.
It's very weird because in the context of The Invitation, I can see him both as Will's character, as the very paranoid, anxious person who is ill at ease at this group setting, but I can also just as easily see him as John Carroll Lynch's character and as Toby Huss's character, respectively.
Totally.
I can also see him as Eden, the wife, who's just like, I'm past my emotions, I'm past my traumas, this is who I am now. I can honestly, Kanye West doing a one-man show stage production of The Invitation.
Yeah, ooh, love that.
Wait
like
a
Lily
minute.
Tomlin's one-woman show, but it's Kanye doing The Invitation. Love it.
He does all the characters all at once.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay. I don't want to get down on someone who has genuine mental illness and who does need to would be better
but
by
also,
seeking help. But like,
listen,
this
he's
man
making
is
horrible anti-Semitic comments. We get to be mad at him too.
I've been mad at him since 2016.
Yeah,
and
I mean, me too. But
yeah,
I think it's okay to be mad. People who have mental health issues are still responsible for the way that they act and behave in the world and the way that they treat other people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
and if you're doing anything enough that reminds people of The Invitation, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. We love The Invitation. We recommend that you watch it and hit us up and let us know how you felt. Also, if you like this show, please rate it on Apple and Spotify and all the places that you listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Drusilla, where can people find you?
You can find me over at sisterhidedesign.com. You can find me on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a lot of updates on Instagram coming soon as I'm going through my surgery process and my healing process. So if you want to follow along with that journey, to use a very kind of passé word, that'll be happening there. Hopefully it should be a good time, and hearing from the love, care, support of people while I'm going through it is going to be great. And I'll be watching a lot of movies, so check out my Letterboxd because it's going to be very, very active and very, very full over the next month and a half. What about you, Josh? Where are you at in the world that people can get a hold of a slice of conkle for themselves?
God forbid. I am at Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd at Joshua Conkle. What are we watching next year by listener request?
Well, because we love you all so much, and because we do listen to your comments and stuff like that, and by comments, I mean people who tweet at us and my friends who listen to this podcast who text me, we will be watching the 1981 Edward Woodward starring cult favorite, The Appointment. One that is new to both Josh and I.
Yeah, neither of us have seen this, so it'll be super fun. It's always fun when we do a show like that. Anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.